What is going on, guys? It is Wrestlelamia here, back with some more news. Join us now as we look at this week's edition of Raw, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know, including Vince McMahon makes drastic changes to Raw, what really happened to Seth Rollins' open challenge, Umaga's son Zilla Fatu making an in-ring debut, Hornswoggle retiring, Rhea Ripley posts a disgusting tribute on Instagram, and much more. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new channel, Wrestlelamia Shorts. Now, as always, we won't recap the show, but just look at the good, the bad, and the downright ugly. As always, we start off with the good as number 1, a beatdown 7 years in the making. A Finn Balor's world-class beatdown on Seth Rollins was a reminder of the adage, beware the fury of a patient man. Balor delivered 3 coups de grace to the World Heavyweight Champion, telling Rollins he's waited 7 years to do this, and putting everyone else in the WWE Universe on notice that no one is getting a shot against Rollins before he does at Money in the Bank. This was the ideal way to dial this program up from 5 to 11, as it now has white-hot heat. Number 2, the Judgment Day strong, even in defeat. The Judgment Day didn't get the W last night in their 6-man tag against Kevin Owens, Sami Zayn and Cody Rhodes, but they still looked strong during the match, and they had plenty of other segments to keep them looking good. Not only did Balor nearly murderize Seth, but Ripley sent another message to Natalya, throwing an entertaining group promo, including the universe booing Dominic out of the building, and it's clear the Judgment Day is still Raw's top faction. Number 3, good finish for Trish versus Raquel. Last night's Money in the Bank qualifier match between Trish Stratus and Raquel Rodriguez showed how to use a WWE legend to put over an active competitor and further a feud. Although Rodriguez's DQ loss to Trish Stratus, a DQ caused by Becky Lynch going after Zoe Stark and Trish, might look cheap, it protected Trish and Raquel from taking a loss. Raquel dominated the match, so she lost nothing, well, other than a Money in the Bank shot, and it's likely there will be fallout from Becky's blunder as she demands an explanation, possibly even leading to a heel turn. Number 4, Ciampa is back. Tommaso Ciampa is finally back after months on the shelf. They did a decent job with his return, having Ciampa take out The Miz and also explain why he's finished with his former partner in crime. The Miz and Ciampa partnership never made sense, and it was good to see one of the Miz's many partners turn on him for once before he turned on them. Number 5, good Braun Breaker promo. Braun Breaker delivered a succinct promo that fit into his heel persona perfectly. He's not going to let Balor's attack on Seth excuse Rollins for having to defend his title on NXT. This, along with Rollins' adamant commitment to defending the title on NXT regardless of any injury, should build interest into the match, as fans wonder whether number 1, Rollins can still wrestle, and number 2, whether Finn Balor will show up to protect his title shot against Rollins. And LA Knight's promo. While last night's appearance by LA Knight and other SmackDown superstars involved in the men's Money in the Bank match was another reminder of how nebulous the brand split is, what wrestling fan will hold it against the WWE when it means a chance to hear LA Knight talk? Knight mocking Logan Paul for being popular thanks to making videos for 14-year-old girls was another example of how good Knight is on the mic. That was a good. What about the bad? Is number 1, Rhea's rubbish reign. And we aren't going to criticize the WWE for having Rhea Ripley destroy Natalya again. Well, not too much, as we're hopeful something good will emerge from this storyline, but we will put the WWE on blast for continuing to give Rhea the weakest of opponents. It's fine for the Eradicator to look dominant, but why not give her some better opposition just to show how dominant she is? Number 2, WWE better not put the Money in the Bank briefcase on Logan Paul. Logan Paul is an amazing addition to the men's ladder match, both for his in-ring skills and his mainstream popularity. However, they better think twice before putting the briefcase in his hands, as such a move would set the already shaky status of the men's briefcase back a few notches. Unless they have something unusual planned, such as Paul cashing it in on Reigns, give it to someone who will be waiting in the background 24/7 to cash it in, with the obvious choice being LA Knight or Damian Priest. Now, there was nothing ugly. Last night's show had several solid matches, several of which had terrific twists and turns. While we didn't need to see an Indus Sher versus Cedric Alexander and Benjamin rematch, the match itself was booked well, with the classic story of an outpowered team trying to devise a strategy to win, only to be crushed despite a spirited effort. There was no filler in last night's show, and of course it continued the build to July's PLE. What do you guys think of Raw last night? Let us know in the comments down below. Now let's move on to the news. Our first story looks at Vince McMahon making drastic changes to Raw. Conflicting reports on how much Vince McMahon changed things up on Raw, as while Vince rarely appears at Raw or SmackDown for that matter, he's known for making changes remotely. Let's look at some of the rumors surrounding Vince's alterations to Raw. Meltzer reported on the Wrestling Observer Radio that Vince did make some changes. The Open Challenge was supposed to happen till the last minute. Vince changed the first 30 minutes of the show, I heard, was totally changed. Vince really wanted this. The whole Seth Rollins angle with Finn Balor. I think he just wanted something big, something bigger for Seth Rollins and Finn Balor just to heat up Finn Balor. Now, as we just mentioned in our analysis of Raw, the beatdown definitely raised the stakes. Meltzer noted the report suggests Vince's changes improved the show. To be fair, I know people who were there told me, look, as far as the 30 minutes that Vince put in it, it was better than the 30 minutes that was taken out. But despite Meltzer's report, there's another reason why the Open Challenge may have been changed up. As next up, what happened to it? Well, another report is coming in explaining why Seth Rollins' title defense was nixed last night. According to Better Wrestling Experience, Triple H dropped the title defense because he didn't want Tommaso Ciampa, who apparently was originally booked to challenge Seth's belt, to lose in his return match. Rollins has been a fighting champion ever since capturing the World Heavyweight Championship at Night of Champions. While the Visionary will likely continue issuing open challenges, they will in turn use these challenges to occasionally further storylines without any title defenses taking place. Next up, the backstage reaction to CM Punk's promo on Collision. As CM Punk is finally back in AEW and the always controversial star got right to business during the debut of Collision, delivering a fiery promo where he told the AEW Galaxy that whether you love me or despise me, I'm not going anywhere until someone can fill my boots. Some of the more interesting remarks by Punk including his boast, "You know what David Zaslav calls me? One Bill Phil. That's because I'm the one genuine article in the world of counterfeit bucks." Oh, and of course this doozy. And there's people that think they are owed an apology. I've grown older and wiser in my years. Sometimes it's better to be the big man. If you feel you are here today and I owe you an apology, I'm sorry that the only people softer than you are the wrestlers you like. Or whether or not Punk was pushing buttons, kayfabing the fans, or a mixture of each, reports have come in concerning how the remarks were taken by AEW's locker room. According to Fightful Select, the Young Bucks had no problem with Punk's remarks. Fightful added that some wrestlers stated they felt the remarks were hypocritical, while others believed Punk just said what was on his mind. Next up, Amanda Huber working a new job in AEW. That's good news for Amanda Huber, as PW Insider is reporting that she's working in AEW production and that former WWE production executive Michael Mansouri, who is also in AEW now, recruited Huber from AEW's community outreach team. Congratulations on her new role. Of course, for those who don't know, Amanda Huber is Brody Lee's widow. Next up, Umaga's son making his in-ring debut. Congratulations to Zilla Fatu, the son of former superstar Umaga. He's officially joined the pro wrestling community. Wrestling News is reporting Fatu is set to wrestle his first match. It was announced by Booker T's promotion Reality of Wrestling that Fatu will work their Summer of Champions event in Humble Civic Center on 15th July. Fatu had started to train with Rowe last December. This could be the beginning of big things for Zilla. Next up, Hornswoggle retiring. As bad news for former superstar Hornswoggle, as he recently revealed his wrestling career appears to be over. Inside the Ropes asked Hornswoggle whether he's stepping back in the ring, with him replying, "Not that I know of, I mean, I would love to, but in-ring probably is behind me. If I'm being honest with myself after my second failed back surgery, it ain't in the cards. I don't believe in-ring for a major company." Now he hasn't ruled out a different role such as a coach, and he's exploring his options. And finally, Rhea Ripley posts a disgusting tribute on IG. And last but not least, a recent Instagram post by Rhea Ripley has the internet wrestling community, well, yeah, talking and maybe grimacing. Due to the sensitive nature of this story, we'll have to utilize language to keep this from falling into the not suitable for work zone. Ripley shared a photo on her Instagram story from an apparent admirer. The photo shows Ripley's face, which appears to be an after photo of a money shot. Apparently some fans post the pictures like this to show their love for various celebs. The Instagram post even made for an in-ring joke on Raw, with color commentator Corey Graves telling fellow broadcaster Kevin Patrick, "I know you're a big fan, KP, I saw that picture you sent her on Instagram." To no one's surprise, the post has led to a variety of reactions on social media, with Corey's comments also unleashing various reactions, with some claiming Ripley was harassed, and Graves seemed to endorse said harassment. Yeah, I don't know about that. Apparently some of these fans ignored that Ripley was the one to share the photo. But there you have it, folks. Our look at Raw, as well as the wildest news stories and rumors you need to know. Be sure to leave your comments down below. I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.